afternoon. It is afternoon, 1:07 p.m. Out cruising around, a little bumpy there, in the Jeep Wrangler. Let me give you a shot at what I'm looking at. There you go. There's a little view out of the front of the Jeep Wrangler. Great day here in South Texas. It is 72 degrees. And as you can see, very few just wispy clouds in the sky, I guess. Pretty darn nice day out here. And I thought I'd get on here and do a bit of a live. I don't go live on this channel very often. Matter of fact, it's probably the first time I've ever been live on this channel with the Jeep Wrangler. I think I did a few with the Gladiator that I had. That's got to be the worst curve in the whole area, I think. Anyway, I'm out here cruising around and, wanted to talk about the Wrangler a little bit. You might be hesitant maybe due to, I guess, reputation or maybe the size. I don't know, when thinking about a Jeep Wrangler two-door. And this is a two-door that I'm in. Prior to this, if you watch the channel, then you know I had a Jeep Gladiator, of course, four-door with a bed, all that stuff, four-door, which I really loved. I really did like the Jeep Wrangler, or Gladiator, I should say. But I've always really loved the two-door Wrangler. So I decided to go ahead and trade that off and get myself a 2024 Wrangler two-door hardtop. Now, you might be wondering, why the heck a hardtop? And I've had a few people ask me this. Why wouldn't you get a soft top? Well, first of all, they didn't have any soft tops, which is kind of funny to me that, the dealers are selling, and they seem to sell really fast, the Wrangler, but they don't have any soft tops. I might have bought a soft top if they had it, although, if I'm being honest, the hard top is what I wanted to get. So they had this one in this particular color, and it wasn't my first color. The one that I wanted right off the bat was a yellow, that yellow color. But when I saw it in person, I thought it was pretty ugly. So I decided to go with this. It was either this, black, or red, I think is what they had in stock. So I decided to go ahead and go with this one, and I'm glad I did. I love it. Now, the benefits of having a hard top, well, obviously, security. I mean, nobody's, not easily going to get into it. You could pry away the top, I guess, but that'd really be probably no less effort than taking a crowbar and smashing out windows, right? Which, of course, you could do in any vehicle. So I'm going to flip you back around now. We're out in the country a little bit, let you see what I'm looking at, give you some views of South Texas here. Again, it is a sunny day, 71 degrees, actually lost a degree somewhere. And we do have a trailer up there. I'm always hesitant when I'm behind somebody that's hauling something, because nobody ever seems to secure loads the way they should. And I'm always worried about things falling off, like that vehicle in front. I am going to take you guys in a more populated area. We're going to kind of drive through I guess more of a city area. It's not really downtown or anything, but it is more of a city area. So if you're interested in seeing what a town down here in South Texas looks like, stay tuned. We're headed that way. I'm going to show you. It is Harlingen, Texas, by the way. And if you don't know where that is, and you probably don't, if I didn't live here, I would have no idea where it was. We're about 30 minutes north of the Mexico border. So almost in Mexico here. I think the next closest town from me to Mexico is probably Brownsville, Texas. It's kind of a border city, a much bigger city than where I am. I think they have, I don't know, 700,000 or 800,000 people, something like that, I think. I could be wrong. Whereas we have like about 80 or 90,000, something like that. This is in the outskirts, as I imagine, or as I stated, I should say, still following that truck that looks like it could lose its load at any time. I don't know. Always worries me. But anyway, more of a commercial area. You can see a lot of, I guess, commercial buildings and storage, warehouse type stuff here. There is a big soccer park up here. Of course, soccer is huge here. I think soccer in Mexico probably is the #1 sport there, whereas I think in the U.S. it's probably NFL football, or American football, as I guess soccer is referred to in soccer communities. But off to the right there, that's a big kind of soccer complex, I guess. It's like a big park. I think this truck in front of us is going to head to, I think they're heading to a dump. There is a dump on the left, which you'll probably see them turn into, and given what the load looks like that they're hauling, I'm pretty sure they're going to go ahead and head off to the dump there. Now, while I've got some people on here, I'd like to know how the picture and the volume is on this live stream. It's kind of a little bit of an experiment for me being on here. Can you hear me? Can you see well? Is the audio good? I know, again, we're in a Jeep, so it's kind of loud, but I'd like to know if I'm coming through. And also give me a thumbs up if you would. All right, we're approaching a more commercial area up here. We're gonna kind of go around a commercial area, so to give you a little bit of an idea what a southern Texas city looks like. It's definitely not as modern as some of the bigger cities, particularly the bigger cities I've lived in, which was lastly Columbus, Ohio. Actually, I'm blind, so I can't see the picture. Well, Kyle, I appreciate you listening anyway. Let's see. You might have seen the gas price. I don't know what it was there. We're going to have another gasoline station up here on the left, so we'll take a look and see what gas prices are like here. Dennis says the volume sounds good. Thanks, Dennis. I appreciate that. Let's take a look and see. It looks like it's $2.97 per gallon right now. You may be able to see it. It's behind those palm trees up on the left. And there you can see the Welcome to Harlingen City marker there. Yeah, $2.97 at the gas station on the left. And down here, the predominant gas station is Stripes and Valero. That's what we have here primarily in Harlingen. Now you can see there's a lot of buildings and stuff. The street that we're on has a number of doctor's offices and things. There's a plastic surgery place on the left. I'm not sure why we really need that here, but actually I think it's for sale. I think it's closed. Kyle says audio sounds good. Thanks, Kyle. Dennis says vertical picture, can you do horizontal? Well, let's turn the camera and find out. I don't know. It says orientation is locked, so no, I can't. And you know, it's interesting. YouTube has kind of gone to a vertical format. I don't know what it is. They're pushing the vertical format more. I think they're doing that to compete with TikTok. They're kind of trying to get that TikTok look, if you will. So the preference for YouTube is vertical. And I know it doesn't give you as wide a field as obviously as what you can see. It was upside down. Bummer. So yeah, I can't change it in midstream, which is kind of a bummer. I would do that for you if I could, but YouTube won't let me do that. So we're in a corner now, one of the main drags through here, Sunshine 77 it's called, or Sunshine Strip. I remember the first time I came down here, I was on the phone getting directions on where to go, and they were telling me to drive on Sunshine Strip, but my Google's map listed it as 77. So I had no idea where I was going. You'll also see a lot of insurance companies down here. There's a big Mexican restaurant on the right there, one of the more popular ones here. A lot of insurance companies, a lot of car dealerships, a lot of fast food restaurants. Fast food here is really big. Up on the right, you'll notice in a couple minutes a sign that says HEB. HEB is the big restaurant chain here, kind of like maybe Giant Eagle or Kroger's if you're from further up north. Here it's HEB. They're everywhere, and they have the market cornered when it comes to grocery store chains here. They don't have as much selection, I don't think, as the Giant Eagles and Kroger's of the world. So we have a little bit less here than I'm used to up north, variety-wise anyway. Across the street there, what used to be a newspaper, of course you know what's happening to newspapers, right? They're all dying, so that newspaper called Valley Morning Star, you may have noticed, is actually shut down now. There is no, it's no longer at that address. I don't think the newspaper itself has gone away, but they no longer have a presence at that location. Now, this area here I would call the kind of restaurant row. We have a lot of restaurants through here. You may see it says China Restaurant on the right. That's, of course, Chinese food. There's a Shipley's Donuts. That's a big, popular donut. I shouldn't say big. It's not that big. But it is a popular donut place here. They're always busy in the mornings and stuff, and I think they're open throughout the day. Up on the right, you're going to see stuff you may actually recognize a little bit more. Chick-fil-A, Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's is actually, if you hang a right at the next light, not this one, you'll have a Wendy's and a Starbucks, you know, the usual stuff, which strangely enough, most of that stuff was not here before we moved here. So I don't know if they heard we were coming and they decided they better, you know, go. No, I doubt that. But take a look. You can see on the right, there's a Chick-fil-A. We also have Burger King right there. And we're coming up on Taco Bell. You can see up there on the right, hopefully. And beyond that is McDonald's and Cane's. Cane's came here shortly after we moved here. That was a brand new built location. They were not here. And there's the right you would take to go down to Wendy's if you wanted to. A lot of banks around here too. There's a bank over on the left. I don't know if you guys noticed. Back to the right, back behind the behind the Cane's, there is a Subway and a couple other sub-type places. We have a little Caesars over on the left. And then there's another Chinese restaurant up here. It's called Great China. You can probably see on the right. And then another one of the big chains down here, Luby's. They used to have a sign that you would have been able to see right in front of you. However, a few months ago, we had a lot of wind down here, and that sign actually blew down on top of a car. It was not a good thing. So they're still there. They just don't have that big honking sign out front. Now, we're going to go through here, and we're going to get into a more, I guess more just business kind of area, not so much retail and fast food kind of stuff. So we'll be getting through there as soon as we get through this light. I will flip the camera back around here for you in just a minute. We do have an older, what is this truck beside me? Dodge, I think that's a Dakota. They've got it all debadged, you know what that is. That's a Dakota, I think, two-door cab. It's all debadged like I like to do too, so I can't dog them for debadging their truck because I do the same thing. All right, we're past that light, thank God. Now up on the left, we're going to have at least one car dealer. You may notice too, a lot of the businesses here are lower to the ground. You don't see any tall kind of skyscrapers or anything like that. I'm not sure why, if it maybe is due to high winds or hurricane threat. We are subject to hurricanes down here. There have actually been a couple of them, I think, that have come through here since I've been here. And that's only been in the last 5 years. So it seems to be getting more frequent. Fortunately, nothing too big. I think the highest wind I've experienced here was just a shade over or under 100 miles an hour. A lot of tattoo places here too. We just passed one on the left there. There's the car dealer we just passed. It was on the right, you probably noticed. And then that's it. We're pretty much through here. The next town, if we were to continue going straight ahead, which is southeast, I guess, would be San Benito. So they're pretty close together. There's an old rundown place on the left you may be able to see. I think we're going to turn left here, so maybe you'll be able to see that. Yeah, you should. Right there, that used to be a fish market. Looks like it's out of business. It's actually been out of business since I've been here, so nothing real surprising there. Let me flip you guys back around. That was just a little tour, let you see kind of what I guess a town kind of looks like down here in South Texas. As far as the Jeep, let's get back to the Jeep for a minute. This is a 2024 Jeep Wrangler. It is the two-door hardtop, and it is the 2-liter turbo, which I really like, by the way. You know, I was hesitant in getting a 2-liter Jeep. I was pretty much decided I would get the V6, like what my wife has. But the problem is Jeep is not producing, at least down here, they're not available. So you can't put your hands on one. So I had to go with the 2-liter, and I did drive it first, and I got to admit, I was pretty impressed with it. It has good power. I mean, it gets up and goes. It's fun to drive, and I'm actually kind of glad now that I got what I have. Fuel economy wise, it's getting now right about, I think it's 18 miles per gallon. Let's see if I can get you. It's getting 18.7 miles per gallon. So compared to my wife's V6, which is lifted and has bigger and heavier tires and wheels on it, it's much better. She's getting about 14 point some odd miles per gallon in hers. So mine is much better. So I'm very happy with it. I'm very glad that I got what I got. Do miss the Gladiator, but not enough that I feel regret in getting this Wrangler. I think it's awesome. Howdy, which trim Wrangler? It is the Sport S, which is one that I'd highly recommend. I mean, it's got everything on it I would need. I do have the bigger screen as well for the infotainment system, so I think it's got everything on it you would want. I mean, anything else you add is really just adding more luxury, I guess, to the Jeep. And of course, when you add more luxury and more electronics, you run the risk of having more problems. And if you're using the Jeep, I guess as it's intended, out bouncing around off-road and in trails and stuff like that, electronics and severe shock don't do well. So you could have problems, electrically and things like that, because you are driving something that's heavily laden with electronics. So I'm happy with the level that it is. The only thing, there's really only a couple things I don't like. One is the missing auto up windows. I wish I had auto up windows. I can't tell you, after going from my other vehicles that do have it, how many times I've hit that switch thinking for some reason that, I don't know, I guess it had improved, that I was going to have a power up window, and I have to sit there and hold that switch. I know it's a stupid thing, it's a petty thing, but it's the honest truth. The other, I guess, is where the window controls are located, and it's a Jeep thing, right? I mean, they're in the center stack area, right? Every other vehicle I have, and most all that I've ever had, not all, but most all, have always had the window controls, in the door handle, right on the armrest area. And even now, if I haven't driven the Jeep for a while, I have to think about where those are when I get in. Because it never fails. I'm always reaching for the door, and they're not in the door. That's kind of a bummer. So those are really the only two things. I mean, there's nothing else about the Wrangler that I don't like. I love that you're able to get in and out of places easily. I mean, it can be tight in areas here. It's a much older area, so the streets and alleys and things like that. Not that I hang out in the alleys a lot. It'd be kind of weird, wouldn't it? But they're not really built for big, giant trucks and SUVs, so this thing fits in there perfectly. You can turn around easily, and it fits in parking places so that you're not, you know, right up on top of somebody. I always worry about that. I'm one of those guys that parks a million miles away from wherever I'm going, and then it never fails. I come out and some junker is parked right on top of me, even though there are tons and tons of parking spaces all over the place. Dennis R says, I like the anvil color. Oh, it's awesome. I am really glad that this is the color that I got. When I saw it sitting there, I thought, you know, if I'm not going to get that yellow, which fortunately I didn't, I would have hated it, that I'm glad I went ahead and got this color, because it's freaking awesome. I think it's pretty cool, and I highly recommend it. It does change hues and colors depending on the light outside. You know, it can look more blue, and it actually really does have a blue hue to it. I like that. Blue, I think, is my favorite color anyway, so having a vehicle that has those blue hues to it, depending on the lighting, is pretty awesome. I think it's pretty cool. Let's see, we're approaching the garage here. Let's see if I can. I think you guys are going to stay up. If I lose you, I apologize. It's certainly possible. I'm on over-the-air signal right now because obviously out driving around you can't be on Wi-Fi. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, kind of a little bit of a test, bring you guys with me. Oh, and don't forget, if you're on, we don't have a ton of people on here, but if you're on and you haven't, please click that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up on the live stream. Show me a little bit of love. It helps out the channel, and of course helps the channel to grow. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, do just a quick live stream, although it's been 22 minutes. I guess it's not all that quick. Bring you guys with me and see how it works out. Let you know how the Jeep's doing. I love it. It's doing great. Have a great weekend. Appreciate you being here, and we'll see you next time on the web.